Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I wish to welcome you all, especially to this presentation organized by Becoming the Greatest You, the BGY. BGY Academy is #1 personal development, skill acquisition, youth empowerment, leadership, and public speaking platform in Africa. Its mission is very simple. It helps you become the absolute best version of yourself, and also helps you to become everything that God wants you to be. Ladies and gentlemen, in the words of Jim Rohn, your level of success can hardly exceed your level of personal development. This is because success is not what you pursue, but it is something you attract based on the person you're becoming. What this means is that personal development is one of the most important aspects you need to pursue on daily basis if you want to succeed in every areas of your life. Ladies and gentlemen, BGY Academy is that academy that will help you to build yourself not only financially, but physically, mentally, emotionally, and even spiritually. In the words of Randy Cage, you cannot build your future, rather you build your habit, and your habit builds your future. Also, healthy discipline habits builds a healthy discipline future. A lazy, lousy habit builds a lazy, lousy future. Ladies and gentlemen, Becoming the Greatest You Academy is going to help you to let go the enemies of success that have possessed you up till now. Enemies of success include procrastination, lethargy, inconsistency, indiscipline, comfort zone, and fantasy. All of these have kept you on a spot, will be replaced with skills, habits, and routine of mindset of the most successful personalities in the world. So if you're here today, this is what you have been invited to come and discover. Be assured that at the end of this presentation, you will be happy. You'll be happy that you were here. And it will change the trajectory of your life. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Bumichis Yopara. I consider it a rare privilege and honor to serve as the MC of this occasion. I am a proud student of BGY Academy. Without much ado, let's delve into today's presentation. I crave your indulgence to please place yourself in a learning mode. If possible, switch on your cameras to enable you interact with the speaker. Get your writing material ready because presenter. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment you have been waiting for. I'll present him to you. He's an erudite, an eloquent, a man with oratory, with the best oratory prowess. He's a leadership personal coach, a foreign language expert. I can speak Italian languages fluently. He's a founder of BGY Academy, an international businessman. He is the official interpreter of the Italian embassy in Abuja, and also the most sought after French interpreter in the whole of Nigeria. Can we please put our hands together as we welcome our own very Mr. Casey Sunshine for this presentation?
Okay, good evening, everybody. Can you all hear me? Good evening. Good evening. Can you hear me? Please make some sign.
I
Let me
didn't hear
see.
anything.
Can you all hear me? Good evening. Okay, fantastic. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you so much, Lady Bumi, for that fantastic saying. Good evening to every one of you connected from different parts of the world, and welcome to yet another training organized by Becoming the Greatest You Academy. Okay, so I can see you guys on the chat now, and I can feel that my family is here. It's good to see your beautiful faces once again. I can see Blessing, I can see Lady Easy, and I can see Lady Bumi as well. Always very energetic. Thank you for all the love and energy you put in your emceeing. Lady Easy, training you. So there is actually another microphone that is on that is kind of like disrupting. So I'm gonna have to put everyone off so that you can all hear me clearly. All right, so if you can hear me, please write on the chat so that I can begin today. Okay, so it's good to be here once again. It's becoming a habit now, and today I'm going to be sharing about something very complex, something really complex. So I am going to. Somebody said I'm not very audible. Is it correct for everybody? Is it correct for everybody? Someone said I'm not very audible. If it's the same for all of you, let me know so that I probably change device. But if it's not the same, it probably means that it's the person's device. Okay, so I can hear you. So Lady Easy, it's your device. Okay, so guys, today we're going to be talking about the power of the subconscious mind. Wow, even the topic alone sounds very complicated. All right, but it's such an important topic that controls the entire universe, and I felt that tonight we're going to. In fact, the topic is so vast and it's so important in terms of the trajectory of our entire life that will probably take this twice for it to really sink in. It's also one of the reasons why I decided to come on board alone tonight so that we can have enough time to really talk about this. You all know how powerful our mind is, yes or yes? If you were to define our mind, what would be the definition? How would you define your mind? What is your mind to you? I want us to interact so you can share on the chat. Okay. You have heard me say severally that your mind is your greatest asset, isn't it? All right. But now today we're not just going to be talking about the mind, we're going to be talking about the subconscious mind. It means that the mind even has subcategories. Yes or yes? Yes, there's the mind, and the mind has subcategories. So we're going to be talking about the power of a part of the mind that is called the subconscious mind. Okay. I've also shared with you on this platform a couple of times that our life is a reflection. The quality of our lives is a reflection of the quality of our thoughts. True or true? And so what it means is that you can look at your life right now and know that the quality of the life you currently live is a reflection of the quality of the thoughts that you have. So if you want to change your life, you have to start by changing your thoughts. That's also a known fact. And that known fact is the fact that, we think to manifest our reality. So our reality is actually a manifestation of our thoughts and all of that. But I'm delving into a new realm to it that is a little bit more complex than this level of the mind, which is the subconscious mind. So we have two kinds of minds. We have the conscious mind and we have the subconscious mind. So having established the fact that our mind is the greatest asset that we have in terms of our possession, okay, we have two kinds of mind. There is the conscious mind and there is subconscious mind. And the purpose of this training tonight is to show you how you can actually utilize this very important part of your mind, which is subconscious mind, to actually, how you can align it towards the realization of your goals instead of using it against yourself, because that's what most of us do. So the conscious mind occupies just 5% of what happens to us, the conscious mind. While the subconscious mind is actually the king. It takes up 95% of what happens to us. All right. So 95% of what happens to us is a reflection of the programmation in our subconscious mind. I'm going to break this down. I already warned you, right? I warned you from the beginning. It's a complicated topic, yes or yes. It means that you have to pay close attention. You cannot afford to blink your eyes, otherwise you can come back and not understand what I'm saying. But I'm going to try my best to bring it down to a level every single one of us can understand, even those that might not be used to this topic. So we have two kinds of minds, I repeat. We have the conscious mind and we have the subconscious mind. So the conscious mind is like a farmer. Let me use words that we can understand. The conscious mind is like a farmer or a gardener. We all know who a gardener is, yes or yes? It's the person that tends the garden. We don't know who a gardener is. The person that tends the garden. So I'm looking at a couple of you on the screen and I'm taking my responses from you. All right. So a gardener tends the garden, isn't it? A farmer tends the farm. So the conscious mind is like the gardener, is like the farmer, while the subconscious mind is like the soil. Are we together? Or it's like the garden. Okay, let's take the example of the garden. So there's a garden where you see all those green flowers and the rest of that, right? And then there's the gardener. The gardener is the one that planted the flowers, isn't it? Can there be a garden without a gardener? It's almost impossible. For there to be a beautiful garden, beautiful flowers together, someone has seen to it to make sure that the flowers are there. So the conscious mind is the gardener, while the subconscious mind is the garden. On the other hand, the conscious mind is the farmer, while the subconscious mind is the soil. Now, whatever the farmer plants in the soil, in other words, whatever flower the gardener plants in the garden, what happens to it? Whatever the farmer plants in the soil has to germinate. True or true? Whatever the farmer plants in the soil has to germinate. Whatever the gardener, whatever plants he plants in the garden has to germinate. Are we together? So first of all, there's a conscious effort by the farmer to plant a flower, and then the soil reciprocates. You cannot plant, for instance, mango as a farmer, and what germinates is beans. Is it true? Is it possible? It's not possible. It is what you plant that the soil brings out. True or true? Just follow me. I'm heading somewhere. Just follow me. All right. So the conscious mind is the gardener who plants specific fruits or specific flowers. The subconscious mind is the garden who receives the plants and gives you back what you give to it. Now, every time that you are consciously thinking a thought, that is the conscious mind that is taking place, especially when you're learning something new. So most times you're focused, otherwise you will miss it. How many of you remember when you were learning how to drive? How many of you here can drive and remember when you were learning how to drive? At that moment, when you were learning how to drive, could you drive and at the same time be eating corn and at the same time be receiving call at that time? You couldn't do that because that was the conscious mind. Are we together? That was the conscious mind. That's the 5% of who we are, because the conscious mind is 5%, while the subconscious mind is 95%. So when you were learning how to drive, you were so focused, as a matter of fact, your two hands, your head is staring like this, and at some point you will even be scared. You cannot multitask, because that was the conscious mind. When you were learning how to walk, it's the same thing. When you stand up, you fall down, stand up, you fall down. Now, take note. Through the law of repetition, as you now started to drive and drive and drive and drive over and over and over and over again, driving now became a program installed as a habit in your subconscious mind. And as it has been installed, it means that you can now do those things without thinking twice. Now you can drive and eat corn at the same time. True or true? While you're eating corn with one hand, in the same hand, you can still receive call. Is it true or true? You're no longer thinking about where your leg should step in. When you're learning how to drive, you are thinking about where your leg is touching. Is it touching the acceleration? Is it touching this? Is it touching that? You're so careful because your conscious mind was at work. But over time, you were no longer thinking about these things. You are doing them subconsciously. It becomes a subconscious action. Now, 95% of our lives are determined by habits that have been installed as programs in our subconscious mind. And so most times people are victims to these habits. People are victims to this program. What I'm trying to say, Lady Ene, is that we have all been programmed. From the moment that you were born, up till this day, Lady Easy, because you're the only two people that can really see on my screen, except I expand. Up till the moment you were born, till this moment, you have been programmed. When you were born, you were like an empty computer. When you go into a computer, when you go into your phone right now, Lady Ene, and you type on your phone, maybe Coach Casey or whatever it is to save my number with, Coach Casey will show up, yes or yes? The only reason it is showing is because you had saved the number there. Is it true or true? Okay, but if you go there right now, 6 months ago when you didn't know me and you type code Casey there, nothing will show you to show you error. Exactly the same way that from the moment we were born, different programs started to be installed. Programs of fear, programs of lack, based on our experiences. Yes or yes? So every time you think, you are taking a conscious effort. Every time you think, you're taking a conscious effort, like a farmer, to plant a seed. And that seed must certainly germinate. Did you hear what I said? I'm going to repeat that. Every time you allow a thought to cross through your mind, like the farmer, you're making a conscious effort to plant a seed. You're planting the seed in your subconscious, and that seed will certainly germinate into fruits. Yes or yes? And so the subconscious mind is simply taking all the seeds you're giving to it, is going into the universe, and is bringing you fruits. And that fruit represents what? Your reality, your life. And so our life our life is a reflection of all the program that we have consciously planted as farmers in our soil, in our subconscious mind. This might be a bit complex, but if you follow me a bit, you're going to understand this, and it can change the trajectory of your life. This might be the most important topic I ever share with you, because this is the infinite intelligence that controls our entire lives. It is what determines how you think, how you feel, what you believe. And when you put all of this together, it's what determines your reality. Because every single day, most of us are just reproducing past experiences. We are not creating anything new, which is why we are having the same result. Many people are stuck, right? Because every day you are doing the same thing. That is a reflection of the program in your subconscious mind. I've shared with you once that it is impossible to think. It's important to be richer than the way you think. It's important to feel more than you think. Our thoughts are so powerful because each time we think, I repeat, it's a seed that we are planting, and those seeds will suddenly go into the universe and bring us fruits. Now, many people are always waiting for things to happen on the outside for them to be able to feel a change on the inside, whereas it's supposed to be the opposite. It is what you're feeding your mind with every day, your emotions with every day, your feelings, your beliefs, your mindset, that actually goes into the universe and attracts the experiences that we have that comes into your life. So if I'm going to summarize about the subconscious mind so that for those that have not gotten in, they can really get it. I repeat that we have two kinds of mind. There is the conscious mind, which is the active mind. Each time you're thinking actively, it is the conscious mind. Like you need the conscious mind to listen to me right now. Do you understand what I'm saying? You need the conscious mind to learn how to drive. You need the conscious mind to learn something new. But as you take decisions every day, you are creating a pattern in your brain. You are creating habits. As you take decisions every day, over and over again, as you wake up in the morning, you brush your teeth. From brushing your teeth, then you take a cup of coffee, and then from there you take your bath, and then what else do you do after you take your bath? You dress up, you go to work, you see the same people, you do the same things, you come back home, and you're creating a pattern. It's a program you're creating, yes or yes? Now, this program begins to form, this routine begins to form a program that your entire life revolves around. So you cannot think beyond this program, except you're beginning to bring in new information into the program. You realize that your brain becomes a record of the past. And so because you're doing the same things over and over and over and over and over again, you realize that you're having the same results over and over and over again, because the same choices generate the same emotions, generate the same behaviors, generate the same results. Which is why, except on daily basis as well, you are actually allowing new information to go into your brain. You are consciously choosing what you are planting in your soil. What happens is that due to neglect, your soil becomes filled with weeds. How do I explain this? If you have a garden, it'll be easy. If you have a garden, Lady Mojisola, well, let me see new faces. Lady Blessing. Imagine you have a garden right now in your backyard, and you neglect the garden. You know, I said earlier, when you plant flowers will grow, true or true? When you plant whatever seed, that seed will grow. Now, imagine that you neglect your garden. You don't plant anything in the garden, or you planted flowers, but after you planted a flower once for 3 months, you've not checked the flower. What's going to happen? Is the flower going to remain the last day you checked on it? Like the last day was 3 months ago, the flowers were beautiful, everything was clear. And for 3 months, you neglect the garden. What's going to happen? What begins to grow? What happens is that weeds begin to grow. Yes or yes? Now, for a lot of us, for a lot of persons, they're not tending their garden, which is your brain, which is the mind that God has given to you, by furnishing with new information every single day. And because they're not reading, because they're not creating a future, what happens is that weed begins to grow in their mind. Yes or yes? What is a weed? An unwanted plant growing in an unwanted place. Is it true or true? So you realize that 95% of what's happening out there is negative. Are you aware? If you live life for life to happen on its own, 95% of your experience, if you're on the TV, 95%, there are 95% chances that what you're going to see first is negative. Is it true or true? When you go on social media, there are 95% chances that the first things you will see are negative. Either you're seeing a naked girl, or you're seeing a fake news, or you're seeing, are we together? I mean, negative to your brain. So you realize that if you're not consciously on a daily basis being careful of selecting what you let into your mind, the society is actually bombarding your head and your mind with weeds. And so I wonder how many people here actually have their brains filled with weeds instead of a creation of the future that they want. So your head is clouded every day. Your head is clouded with confusing things because you allow a lot of things into your brain. You're not careful of what you're planting. And since you're not careful of what you're planting, anything grows, true or true. And so you do the same thing over and over and over and over again. The same results are coming and you're complaining. What's going on? What's going on? But the truth is that if you're not consciously building your future, you are consciously allowing your brain and your future to be filled with weeds you cannot control. I hope that I'm explaining this the easiest way possible. And so at the end of the day, the subconscious mind does not know the difference between what is real and what is not real. As long as you give it a feeling, as long as you give it a thought, it just goes into the universe and then it brings similar thoughts. This is how our mind works. And that is why each time there's a negative thing that happens to you in the past, it is important to look for a way to go over that negative thing. Don't dwell in that past. Because if you wake up every day, you wake up in the morning, and what you're thinking of is your problem, what you're thinking of is something that someone that died in the past, the brain does not know that it's in the past. Do you get my point? Why do you think about, why do you feel, or why do you think that you begin to think about something that happened 5 years ago and you begin to cry in the present? Has that happened to you before? You think about something that happened 5 years ago. You think about something that happened 2 months ago, and you're crying now, just like you cried 5 years ago. You know why? The brain didn't know that it happened 5 years ago. As long as you begin to think it, the brain thinks it's happening now. And so the brain begins to go into the universe, and it begins to, what happens is that it begins to generate the same emotions you felt 5 years ago. And that emotions is what brought out the tears. So you're telling your subconscious mind each time you let in the negative thought that this is what I want. This is what I like. Go into the universe and bring me more of it. So how you feel on the inside determines what comes out on the outside. I'm going to repeat that. How you feel on the inside is what you attract on the outside. You cannot feel abundant. You cannot feel scarcity on the inside and expect to attract abundance on the outside. You can't feel sad on the inside and expect to attract happiness on the outside. It's impossible. So the subconscious mind is always looking at your feeling. And that's why emotionless thoughts don't really hold waters. The thoughts that really destroy or make us are thoughts that are accompanied with emotions. This is where you think about the death of somebody and emotions come in. It doesn't matter whether it's the death of your father or the death of your mother or the death of whoever was close to you. The way you feel at that moment is passing a message to your subconscious mind, telling the subconscious mind, this is the feeling I want. So it goes into the universe and looks for a frequency that matches that same frequency and attracts more into your life. Have you noticed that the day you start to quarrel with your husband or you quarrel with your wife and you allow anger, that moment you allow that anger, a lot of things are going to begin to happen to get you angrier. Is it true or true? As in, he did just one small thing and you're already angry and you're consumed, you are angry. What's going to happen is that as you allow yourself to be consumed by these emotions, you're passing a message to your subconscious mind that I love these emotions. And so what is going to happen is that it's going to do something, your husband is going to do and that thing to make you angrier. And then just when you're thinking about that, something else, someone else comes and does and that thing, and the anger just keeps piling up. True or true? And then when you're in a state of happiness, when you fill yourself with emotions, what happens is that a lot of other things begin to come. And so if it's a negative emotion, let's say maybe it's sadness, it begins to look for its brothers and sisters. From sadness, there is guilt. Guilt begins to come with envy. Envy comes with anger. Anger comes with, as in, one negative emotion attracts several other negative emotions. That's why you see some people are stuck. 5 years, 10 years, 20 years after the death of somebody, they are still in the same spot. And when you ask them, why is your life like this? They say, my life is like this because I lost my dad 5 years ago. My life is like this because there was an event that took place in my life. So it's now a victim consciousness. And because they have, in the beginning, they know that this is not true because they repeated it to themselves every day that my life is miserable because of my boyfriend that dumped me. Over and over again, your brain begins to see it as true. Who's understanding what I'm saying? I know this topic is complicated, but it's too important not to talk about it. Over and over again, because you're giving yourself the same excuse as to why your life is miserable, why your life is happy, whatever the case. In the beginning, you know it's not true. In the beginning, you know you're lying to yourself. You know you can do better. You know that there are people who are even orphans. They have lost both mother and father, even their husbands, and yet they are doing well. So when you begin to give yourself these excuses, you knew it was not true. But because you repeated these excuses over and over again, your subconscious mind began to accept as the truth. Hello, and then it becomes what you attract. And so every day you're telling yourself, my life is miserable because my boyfriend dumped me, because so and so happened. Your brain becomes a record of the past. Your brain is only replaying and replaying past negative experiences. And as you replay these past negative experiences, you generate past negative emotions. And as you generate past negative emotions, these past negative emotions, what do? They attract present and future negative emotions that are predictable because of your past experiences. And so what we want to do is not for our brain to be a record of the past. What you want to do is to make sure your brain is a creation of the future that you want. How do I simplify this for you to understand? I repeat, what you want to do as a human being is to make sure every day your brain, your mind is a creation of the future that you deserve, that you want. Not to be a slave, a victim to your past. Because each time you think of a past problem, a past negative emotion, a past negative feeling, I repeat that your brain does not know that you're thinking in the past. Anything you think of is thinking that it is present. And should I now tell you where the secret is? The secret now means that I can begin to use this same theory. I can use the same energy and trick my brain and begin to think about the future as if it's already present. Since when I think of a past experience in the past, my brain thinks it's happening presently, and it brings me more of that negative experience. What if I begin to think about my future, think about my houses, about my cars, about the beautiful journeys I'm going to make, all the amazing things, and think about them in the present, knowing that my brain does not know that it's in the future. I'm thinking it. Knowing that I'm tricking my brain and I'm making my brain think that this is my present and I want more of it. Who is getting my point? So what it means is that the mind is seeing you every day. You're waking up in the morning, you're visualizing your dreams, you're on your vision board. We are here connected, 28 persons on Zoom. Who knows, maybe less than 100 persons on YouTube. But every morning I wake up, guess what I see? I see 5,000 people in the hall listening to me physically. I see 20,000 persons connected on YouTube, connected live, and that's what I visualize. My brain does not know that it's not true. My brain thinks it's present. I get my point. And so my brain begins to go into the universe. And my brain the subconscious mind is saying, okay, how can I make this a reality? How can I make this a reality? Okay, who and who? Okay, there's someone somewhere in Cairo. There's someone somewhere in Port Harcourt. There's one Lady Mojisola in Lagos. And they have a similar vision to your vision. Are we together? Okay, let's bring them together to this vision. Let's go and get one Lady Easy from somewhere. Let's get one Lady Blessing from somewhere who have similar visions. And so from this vision, from this visualization, I begin to attract people that have similar visions, people that have similar callings, people that have similar dreams. And as we are coming together, it is forming, it is forming, it is forming. 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 10, 10 becomes 100, 100 becomes 200, 200 becomes 2,000. And the magic to make this happen is to begin to live in the present. Live as in begin to visualize your future like it's already happening in the present. This is one of the most powerful things I will ever teach you. Instead of allowing your brain, just like that land, just like that soil, allowing it to run on its own and weeds to come. Guess what? When you don't When you don't visualize what I'm telling you right now, when you don't create this future, guess what? The weeds are going to spring up, true or true? The weeds will spring up because you're not consciously building the future. The weeds will spring up in form of what? Negative thoughts, negative people, because you don't have a boundary. You don't have a standard. What is a boundary? A boundary is to make sure, a standard is what? To make sure you tend your garden, make sure only the flowers you need are there. Yes or yes? The weeds are off every single day you're tending. Now, if you don't tend the weeds of your mind, it means that you don't have a standard. Any friend can come in, any thoughts can come in, true or true. And as they're coming, they don't need your permission. Does a weed need the permission to come and enter into your garden? As long as you don't tend it, it's going to grow longer than the flowers in your garden. I wonder how many of us here right now have more weeds than flowers in our lives because we did not create a boundary, because we did not create a standard, because we did not create a culture of daily letting new information come into our mind, because we did not intentionally choose the thoughts that we want to let into our minds. I know this topic is complicated, but I cannot continue to wait. I will teach it again in future, over and over and over again, as we are all growing together, as we are all maturing together, because this is what we call mindset development. But let's start from somewhere. I wonder how many of us have let in so many weeds we don't need in our lives. Negative thoughts. You wake up in the morning and the first thing you're taking up is your problem. You're already ruining that day. There are no two ways about it. You wake up in the morning and the first set of emotions you have are negative emotions. You wake up beside someone that you don't love, someone that generates negative emotions to you. And you wake up, you're thinking about your debt. You wake up, you're already thinking about how, oh God, I'm about to go to that work again. Where I'll meet, maybe you call the person's name, who will frustrate me. As in, you're already anticipating worst case scenario based on the fact that your brain is a record of a past negative experience. You're not creating anything. You are a slave to a negative past. And so this negative past is just recreating itself over and over again into a negative present and negative future. My God, please give them the wisdom to understand. We have to consciously create the future that we want by consciously selecting the thoughts we let into our mind, because this thought generates emotions or feelings. And these feelings, they go into the universe to look for a frequency that matches that exact feeling and bring it into your life, because that's what you have told yourself. Your conscious mind has told your subconscious mind that you want. And if you don't do this consciously, the weeds of the life are going to come in and they're going to ruin your life. Because the conscious mind is just 5%. Everything you're doing every day right now is it's just a rehearsal. Your life is a rehearsal. How do I make you understand what I just said? I said, for most of us, our life is just, you know how you go to choir and you rehearse song? And then when you go there, it's easier for you to rehearse a song you know before, true or true, than a new song. Now, for most of us, we're not writing new songs. We're just rehearsing songs that we know. And so our futures are predictable, because most of these songs that we know, most of these rehearsals are negative. And because you're not consciously creating, how do you create? Positive affirmations. You wake up every morning. I know that my life is not so amazing, but I'm confessing it. The same way you spoke negativity over and over again and it became your reality. Why not begin to speak positivity over and over again until your subconscious mind begins to say, okay, you've spoken this enough. It's now a habit. I'm going to bring it into your life. I'm an amazing person. I'm a fantastic individual. I'm a champion. I'm a multi-millionaire in dollars. I'm a gift to my family. I'm a light to the world. I'm the pride of my family and my community. I'm an inspiration to millions of persons all over the world. The Spirit of God lives inside of me. My spirit man is alert. I'm a gift to my generation. I am prosperous in every currency. I prosper in Naira, I prosper in Euro, I prosper in pounds, I prosper in dollars, I prosper in every currency of the world. I'm a light to my generation. I'm a voice in my generation and my generations to come. You're speaking it every day. As you're saying it, you look at your surrounding and your conscious mind is telling you, oh God, are you stupid? You that you're living in this place, you've not even paid your rent. Your conscious mind is reminding you, what are you saying? Are you stupid? You look at where you're staying. You don't even have television in your room. You don't even have anything. There's no light, but you're confessing, you're speaking. You're speaking to the universe, the future you want to create. I'm an amazing person. The world is going to hear my name. I'm a fantastic individual. I transform the lives of millions of persons all over the world. I'm a transformational speaker. Nobody meets me twice for them to be transformed. They only need to meet me once and they are transformed. You are speaking this, you look at your own life and you're wondering, are you even transformed? Your conscious mind is going to confuse you. It's going to begin to tell you don't know what you're saying. But you know that anything you repeat over and over again, as long as you repeat it enough, it's going to become your reality. Because we repeated poverty, we repeated lack, we repeated backwardness, we repeated scarcity over and over again for 20 years, and it became a part of who we are. I can begin to create. And as I'm saying these things, I'm visualizing it. I have my vision board. Yes or yes. I'm creating the future that I want. I refuse my brain to be a record of the past, especially of my past mistakes, of my past guilt, of my past bad experiences. I decide for my brain to be a creation of the future that I want, or the future that God has told me I will be. So you're speaking into the universe. I have an amazing family. I have responsible children. I have an amazing wife. I am married to the best woman in the world. Even though you look at the woman and you're telling yourself, this one that I married like this. See, the thoughts, your dominant thoughts about your partner is going to be the reality you receive. No matter how annoying they are, every day speak positivity about them. I'm married to the best. My husband, I'm married to a king. I have the best husband in the world. As you speak this into the universe, you are going to speak up a king. Every man has a king and a, what's it called now? Every man has a king and a fool inside of him. Whatever you are the one that determine what you project. Whatever you speak into the universe, if you speak king, king will arise. If you speak fool, you will see a fool. The same thing with a woman. I have the most amazing husband in the world. I'm a blessing to my generation. Guys, I'm also giving you some of my secrets. These are the things that helped me. You know where I'm coming from, my family. I'm coming from a family of 14 children, 3 wives. One of the poorest families in the whole of my state. I've shared this experience with you before. No one thought I could become anything. But even before today, every single day, I'm confessing positive affirmations. Yes or yes. And as I say these things, they are becoming a reality. I've organized conferences where I spoke in front of 10,000 persons. I've organized conferences where we have 30,000, not 30,000, we have 30 countries connected. I spoke them into reality. I've emceed side by side with broadcasters from CNN. I spoke them into reality. There is the mercy of God, which is the most important thing. But as you are depending on the mercy of God, as you are having faith in God, be speaking these things. Yes or yes? Be speaking the future that you want to see. You look at your child, your child is about to go to school. You are a blessing to your generation. You are an amazing individual. You are the voice of your generation. Your child is hearing you say these things every single day. Even when the child goes out with confidence. Child is not going to school and the last thing you're telling the child is, don't go and bully anybody. Or the last thing you're telling the child is, Ode, look at you. The child is going to be an Ode. You're speaking into the child's life. Even though the child is misbehaving, you're speaking to the child's life. You are a blessing to you. You're not telling the child you're going to be, you're telling the child you are. Because auto-suggestions work when they are in the present. I am. The best time to use these auto-suggestions is the first time in the morning and last time at night. That's when the subconscious mind is at its peak. Like, do you know what I do? Should I share my secret with you? One of my secrets? Before you go to bed, there are so many of them on YouTube. Just go and download them. All those I am positive affirmations. I am amazing. I am loving. I am kind. I am intelligent. I am wise. I am a blessing to my generation. I am a king. I am a champion. I am a winner. I am a hero. I am everything God wants me to be. You are listening to them and you are repeating before you go to sleep, and then you sleep with it. Hello, you are sleeping, it's still playing. Hey, you don't know what you'll be doing to your brain. Because guess what? The moment you sleep, what happens is that it is only your conscious mind that is sleeping. Your subconscious mind goes throughout the night and begins to bring into your life the last things that it heard. So if you go to sleep and what you watch was horror movies, little wonder why you have a dream and you are fighting Chinese movie in your dreams. Sometimes it's nothing to do. Forget about all those things. It's just because of the last things you did. Yes or yes? And so if you go to sleep and the last thing you did was the last emotions you have were negative, you're going to wake up negative. For you to understand what I'm saying, let me ask you a question. How many of you went to bed angry with your husband and the next morning you woke up happy? How many of you? It's impossible. If you go to bed angry with your husband or with your wife, as you are sleeping, that last emotion you slept with, the infinite intelligence of your subconscious mind is going to take it and go into the universe to bring in more emotions in such a way that when you wake up in the morning, you are 3 times angrier. Is that true or true? Do you ever go to bed angry with your spouse and you woke up and suddenly all the anger is gone? It doesn't happen. The anger increases. So once you want to go to bed, you want to make sure you listen to positive things, positive music, positive affirmations. So that when you sleep, instead of sleeping like that, you are giving assignment to your subconscious mind to say this thing that what I'm feeling with my mind right now as I'm sleeping consciously, subconscious mind go into the universe and bring me frequencies that resonate with this, that vibrate to this frequency. You know how you tune a radio? Once you go to, even if it's 99.8, it's not there yet. But once you reach 99.9, it begins to speak. That is how the universe works. Every thought that you think vibrates at a frequency, and it goes into the universe to find the same frequency, and is tuned, and you begin to attract all of that into your life. The power of your subconscious mind. Many people are using the subconscious mind against themselves. It is one of the most powerful force of the universe, but most of us use it against ourselves instead of us. It's a slave. Whatever thought you give it, it brings more of it to you. You give it negative thought, it brings you negative feelings, negative emotions, negative experiences. And that is why you have to consciously, number one, choose the people you let into your life, because if you choose negative people into your life, they're going to help you make sure you have lots of negative thoughts, negative emotions, and the rest of that. Yes or yes? Be careful to choose positive thoughts, positive feelings, positive emotions. When you wake up in the morning, don't jump into social media. It's one of the easiest ways to kill your life. When you wake up in the morning, why do we do the miracle morning, the DJY morning routine? It is because you want to take charge of your day. Yes or yes? You want to determine how your day is going to go. You can actually determine how your day should go by the first thing, how you spend your first 1 hour when you wake up. You just wake up and you jump into the kitchen to begin to cook. You wake up in the morning, you just jump into taking care of your children. No, it's not right. If you must wake up 30 minutes earlier, wake up 30 minutes earlier to set up your day first. Yes or yes? And those 30 minutes, what are you doing? Your prayer, your meditation, positive affirmation, visualization. See, I am not stupid to put these 4 activities in the BGY program. I'm not stupid. For those of you that don't understand, those are 4 of the most important activities in the BGY program. Some of you skip it. Your prayer, most importantly, your meditation, your positive affirmations. I'm an amazing person. Have you seen positive affirmation on BGY before? Today, what does it say? It says, today I only see good. Today only good comes to me. Today only good comes from me. Today I manifest only love, kindness, and beauty. Oh God, I wish you know what those words mean. If you can speak them every day for the next 1 month, and you wake up every day, the first word is what? Today I only see good. You're already telling the universe that today I don't want to see anything negative. Today I only see good. Only good comes to me. But you're also holding yourself responsible for what you give out by saying what? Only good comes from me. So what does that mean? You are at work, someone is trying to get you angry. If you really do this is what happens to me all the time. Someone is trying to get you angry. You're about to snap back. And you remember when you said in the morning, only good comes from me. Only good comes from me. Only good comes from me. And then you calm down. Only good comes from me. And then you remember when you said, today I manifest only love, only kindness, only beauty. Does such a person have the capacity to hurt someone else? You don't. As you speak this over and over again, it becomes who you are. You become a kind person, amazing person. In their positive affirmation, what does it say? It says, I'm a money magnet. I'm a money magnet. I'm becoming a better version of myself because I'm attracting better version of myself because I'm becoming better every day. That's what's there. Go and read your positive affirmation. Every day you're confessing these things. You're visualizing. So, as usual, because my time is gone, we're going to play a video that is going to help me because I don't believe I've done justice to this. I've tried my best. I know some of you maybe understood what I'm saying. Some people still don't understand. Some of you are probably sleeping that this is complicated. But hopefully 1 or 2 persons understand this because it's the most powerful force in the universe, the force of the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind works on your belief system. What you believe, you attract. Write that down. What you believe, you attract. We are always attracting what you believe. We never attract what we don't believe. We are always anticipating, as in there's always an anticipation based on what you believe. The only reason you're such a devoted Christian, my sister, is not because you carry Christ for your head. It starts from the fact that you're born into a Christian family. Are we together? And then you started to believe in the Christian faith and all of that. If you are born in one Saudi Arabia and all of that, you have been a devoted Muslim right now. Do you get my point? Your belief, what you believe is what you attract. What you believe, what are you believing? I'm an amazing person, and you're attracting that. I'm a fantastic person, you're attracting that. I'm a loser, you're attracting loser. I'm not beautiful, you're attracting that. Only stupid men come into my life. You continue attracting stupid men. Why is it that only this kind of people, only negativity happens to me? You are continuing to, because that's what you believe. Yes or yes? The day you believe better, you change your belief system, better things begin to come into your life. What we believe we attract. That is also what brings about miracle. Are you aware? Let me tell you something. When you see that a miracle has started taking place, why do you think that you can go to a place and 10,000 persons get a miracle and you don't get? The people that have the miracle, they believe first of all it is their belief actually that make them to experience the miracle. The belief is even more important than whatever the man of God has to say. I can guarantee you. The belief. Why do you think placebo? If you know what's called placebo, why does it exist? Placebo is a medical term used for fake procedures. So one Dr. Bruce did a procedure. Let me share this story with you. So he was dealing with a group of old men, veterans with arthritis, incurable arthritis. Please follow this story very well. And then he divided the group of people, of sick people, into two. And they told them that there's a new procedure that has just come to town, and that it has gone through all forms of medical checks, and that it is 100% going to give them full recovery. They believed in Dr. Bruce, and they were all excited. Oh, I've had arthritis for 20 years. Thank God I'm going to be over. Hello. So what does this information make them to do? To believe, true or true, to believe that no matter what happens through this procedure, they are going to be fully healed. Do you know what Dr. Bruce did? Dr. Bruce actually applied the procedure to one group. So the second group, they didn't apply the procedure, they did a fake procedure, but they made them believe that they were also getting the real procedure. So they just put certain seizures in place. Do you want to know what happened? After 3 months, 100%, both the group A and group B, everybody was fully recovered. Both those that took the correct procedure and those that took the fake procedure were fully recovered. How? The power of belief. They believed that they were going to be healed. So what happens to us most of the times is out of our belief system. If you believe you're going to be wealthy, you'll be wealthy. If you believe that you're going to be poor, you'll be poor. Our belief system is responsible for our poverty, our wealth, for our low self-esteem, for the kind of men we attract into our life, the behavior of our friends. It's our belief. We attracted them based on what we believe. There are several cases like that where placebos are done. You see that the real operation, the real operation people recovered. Those that did placebo operations, they also recovered because of the belief. And you can see when miracles take place. See, let me tell you something. Sometimes, depending on the belief, you can drink ordinary water like this, and cancer will be gone. Cancer, just because you told the person, if you drink this water, oh, this water that you're seeing right now, there's something inside. In fact, this water, it has gone through USA, it went through UK from a doctor in Germany, and then it has a lot of things. All you have to do is drink it, and cancer is gone. If you can get that person to the level where the person believes, the person will drink that water that nothing has been done, and they will be healed completely of cancer. Do you understand what I'm sharing with you? So, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to listen to this amazing video that is going to help me to explain to you about the power of our subconscious mind. I hope that from this video, you will be able to understand what I've been struggling to explain, that I could not understand, that I could not explain as much as I think that you need to understand it. So if you give me a second, yeah, I will have that up.
Well, hello, Believe Nation. In this video, I'll be summarizing one of the greatest self-help books of all time, Think and Grow Rich. This book is one of Evan's top 5 book recommendations, so make sure to watch closely and take notes. My name is Manny Waya, and I'm the founder of 2000books.com and the 2000 Books YouTube channel, where we summarize some of the world's greatest business and personal development books. I have personally read over 1,000 business and self-help books, and in this video, I'm summarizing a book that is not only one of Evan's top 5 books, but it is also one of my top 5 books. So here we go. Think and Grow Rich is arguably one of the greatest self-help books of all time. Why? Because in it is the combined knowledge about how to become successful from some of the greatest minds of the 20th century, including John D. Rockefeller, who was the richest man the world has ever seen, Andrew Carnegie, the biggest steel tycoon of his times, and second only to Rockefeller in terms of wealth, Henry Ford, the founder of Ford Motor Company, Thomas Edison, the inventor of light bulb and holder of over 2,000 patents, and over 500 such great minds. The author, Napoleon Hill, spent nearly 30 years interviewing these great men to figure out what made them successful, and the book is a distillation of those ideas. And in this video, I will compress the entire book and the knowledge from these 500 great men into one encompassing idea that will simplify the whole book for you. And even though the title of the book is Think and Grow Rich, the ideas apply to accomplishing any goal that you desire. Now here's the all-encompassing idea. In order to do great things, whether it be to accumulate great riches or any other goal for that matter, we have to enroll and harness the power of our subconscious mind. And that is what we will discuss in this video going forward. Now, why do we need to do that? Well, we all have two minds inside of us, the conscious and the subconscious. However, in terms of sheer power, the subconscious mind is orders of magnitude more powerful than the conscious mind. There is literally no comparison. If the size of the conscious mind is the size of a microwave oven, the subconscious mind is the size of the Milky Way. It's extremely powerful, and the computational resources it has are humongous, millions of times more powerful than the conscious mind. So, in order to accomplish your big goals, you need to harness the power of your subconscious mind by programming it with the goal that you want. And how do we harness the power of the subconscious mind and program it for what we want? Well, given the nature of our subconscious mind and the conscious mind, it is not easy to program the subconscious mind, but it is entirely possible, and this book is all about understanding precisely how to do that. So let's understand the basics of the subconscious mind, and then we will talk about the keys to program it for massive success. Firstly, even though the subconscious mind is way more powerful than the conscious mind, it is still being controlled by the conscious mind. Our conscious mind is the master of our subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is like a garden, while the conscious mind is the gardener. The conscious mind is sowing the seeds of thought, while the subconscious is working to bring those thoughts to fruition. Second of all, we have to understand that our subconscious mind is always working, and for most people, it is working against them. Now, you might be wondering why the subconscious mind would work against you. Well, it is because of the thoughts and emotions that are dominating your existence every single moment, every single day. If your thoughts are dominated by negativity, fear, poverty, failure, well, the subconscious mind is busy making those thoughts a reality for you, and hence it is working against you. On the other hand, if you're feeding your subconscious mind deliberately designed thoughts and feelings of riches, success, positivity, well, the subconscious mind gets busy making those thoughts a reality for you. Now, the challenge is that if you do not actively plant deliberately chosen thoughts and emotions in there, it will work on the thoughts it receives as a result of neglect. And unfortunately, those are not usually positive, uplifting thoughts. You're constantly being bombarded with negativity all around you. Thirdly, the subconscious mind is objective. It does not distinguish between positive or negative. It does not distinguish between a penny or $1 million. It will take whatever thoughts and emotions you think and feel and get busy making them a reality, whether positive or negative. Okay, so now that we understand the subconscious mind a little better, how do we get about programming our subconscious mind for great success? How do we create that burning desire that literally turns on the power of the subconscious mind in our favor and makes us unstoppable? Well, here are the 5 keys to do exactly that. First of all, we must have a definite purpose. We must become very clear on what we want, on the specific goal we want. The clearer the purpose or the end goal, the easier it is to get there. Only when we are clear about our goal can we program that goal into our subconscious mind. If you provide your subconscious mind with no clear purpose or goals, you will get no real power from it. It will be like a giant ship with immense power, but without any destination to aim for. So what's the use of a ship without a clear destination? A lot of people have these vague goals about maybe becoming rich or losing weight, but those goals are so vague that it's almost useless. You have to be very clear. You have to have a very clear goal, a very clear dollar amount. That will help you harness the power of your subconscious mind, because it allows you to focus your effort and it gives you a clarity of direction, clarity of making decisions. The second key to programming your subconscious mind is to use the power of autosuggestion. Now, autosuggestions are deliberately designed statements or commands you give to yourself, also known as affirmations. Once you know what you want, you must repeat that command to your subconscious mind over and over and over and over and over again. No end to it. There's no end to maintaining your garden, and you have to keep on doing this. You never stop doing it. So you keep on repeating these affirmations to yourself, these autosuggestions to yourself over and over again. The third key to program your subconscious mind is to use the power of emotions to direct your subconscious mind. Now, it is not enough to think about your goals and just repeat them. You must mix those thoughts of your goals with emotions, the emotions you want to feel when the goal will be accomplished. The subconscious mind only understands the language of emotions. Emotionless thoughts do not affect the subconscious mind. That is a fact. It does not understand. The subconscious does not understand the language of logic or reason. So any language you use in order to program your subconscious mind has to involve emotions. You have to feel the feelings in order to be able to program your subconscious mind. You must mix your thoughts with positive emotions, or thoughts mixed with negative emotions will unfortunately reach your subconscious mind by default. And thoughts mixed with emotions have a magnetic force to them, in the sense that they attract similar thoughts and emotions. Positive emotions will keep on attracting more of those positive thoughts, more of those positive emotions. So your job is to minimize the inflow of negative and disempowering thoughts and emotions, and to instead program your subconscious with deliberately designed positive and empowering thoughts, emotions, and feelings. And when we can consistently do that, that's when we have the key to unlocking our subconscious mind. Okay, the fourth key to programming your subconscious mind is visualization and acting as if. In order to program our subconscious mind, we must see and feel the goal as if the goal is already accomplished, that you already have what you desire. Ask yourself, how would you act if you had already accomplished your goal? How would you feel? What would you do? What feelings would dominate your mind? The key to visualization is to actually be able to see and feel yourself as having already accomplished the goal rather than thinking of it as a distant possibility. So if you have a goal of making $1 million by December 31st of next year, visualize yourself on December 31st as having already accomplished that goal. Don't think of it as something you would like to accomplish in the future. That is creating the feeling of not having the goal right now. Instead, feel that it is December 31st of next year right now, and you have already accomplished the goal. I really cannot emphasize this point enough, so you might want to just rewind and watch this point a few times because it's loaded with great wisdom right here. Okay, the fifth key to programming your subconscious mind is persistence and repetition. So what is the price of being able to harness the power of your subconscious mind? It is, as Napoleon Hill says it is everlasting persistence in thoughts mixed with emotions, mixed with faith. Endless repetition of that desire mixed with positive emotions and mixed with faith. No matter what the circumstances, no matter what you see externally in the world, there's no lower price we can pay. We must consistently persist and repeat these thoughts over and over and over again. We must decide to program our subconscious mind, and there is no end to it. We have to do it over and over and over again. So the amazing thing is that as you begin to increase your thoughts about that goal and you mix it with your positive emotions, and what will happen is those thoughts and those emotions will begin to attract more of such thoughts and emotions until you become completely charged with this thought pattern, with these emotions. Okay, so we just talked about the 5 keys to programming your subconscious mind. However, there is one power strategy that literally puts this whole book on steroids. This strategy makes the above 5 steps automatic, and that strategy is to burn the boats. Now, let me tell you the story of Spanish conqueror Hernan Cortez back in the 1500s to really explain what it means to burn the boats. When Hernan Cortez's warships arrived on what was then the Aztec Empire, he had clear intentions of fighting the Aztecs and conquering that area of what is now modern-day Mexico. However, he quickly realized that his army was badly outnumbered, almost to the ratio of 1 to 100. And he saw that his soldiers were starting to hesitate and thinking of retreating in case the war did not go according to plan. So in order to get the very best out of his soldiers, in order to get them to win, he ordered his men to burn their boats. And once the boats were burned, there was no way of retreating. The soldiers knew very clearly that they only had 2 options, either win or die. There was no other way out, do or die. And that created a burning obsession inside of them to win and to live. And that is why his army went on to win the war, even though they were outnumbered 1 to 100. Now that is the power of burning the boats. It quickly gets us to harness the power of our subconscious mind, because when our survival is at stake, the subconscious mind brings all its power to bear on a given situation. In those situations, we become unstoppable. So if you want to create a burning, obsessive, pulsating desire for something, if you really want to program your subconscious mind with your goal, you need to cut off all other paths of retreat. You need to cut off all other possibilities. You have to go all in, just one option. And sometimes these situations are externally manufactured for us. For example, you are running out of money in your venture and you have a clear deadline by which you must make the business work or the business will die. Many great entrepreneurs have actually credited those moments as the ones that really turned their businesses around. At other times, we have to burn the boats ourselves when there are no external manufactured situations available to us. And one of the ways you can do that is to publicly commit to a goal. Or another way to do that is to create real deadlines with real consequences if the goal is not accomplished. Whatever you do to burn the boats, make sure that it leads to a state of burning obsession where you are almost obsessively thinking about the goal. You need that fire, you need that obsession, you need that in order to program your subconscious mind, and that is what will trigger you to greatness. So there you have it, an in-depth understanding of Think and Grow Rich. So just to recap, what we learned was that in order to accomplish our greatest goals, we must enroll and harness the power of our subconscious minds. Just trying to use the conscious mind to accomplish our goals is not enough. And we talked about the 5 keys to harness the power of the subconscious mind. And then we also talked about the 1 power strategy that literally makes us unstoppable. So if you enjoyed this Think and Grow Rich summary and learned something new from it, I'm sure you will love.
Who has learned something? Is this too complicated? I'm looking at some of your faces and I can see it lighting up like, wow, what am I just knowing today? I can see some of your faces. But the other faces, I don't know whether it's confusion or you still don't understand yet. Or normally this is not a topic for Zoom, honestly. This is a topic to treat for at least 3 hours in a physical meeting. But I have compressed it into a 1-hour meeting, and I hope by God that it can change the trajectory of your life. Okay, I'm going to listen to those of you that would like to share now. Then I will listen to some of you, or one person who has finished their BGY program. But I want you to share with me about this session so far. What have you learned? How do you feel about this session? This video you have watched, everything about this power of your subconscious mind. I want to know whether you guys have truly understood this topic that we have tried to, this huge topic that we have tried to delve on today in just 1 hour. So if you'd like to share, just raise your hand digitally and I'll give you the floor just for 1 minute for you to share with us about what we have done today. Let me get the feedback to see whether I have actually done anything or I've wasted my time. Is anybody speaking? Raise your hand digitally and I will unmute you and then you can share. Okay, so officially nobody understood the topic. But you guys are so selfish, you just want to receive, you don't want to give. Okay, let's listen to Kennedy first, Mr. Kennedy Brassin. You cannot come here and receive and go alone. It will be very selfish of you. You have to give as well. That's how you know leaders. Okay, so Mr. Kennedy, can you unmute yourself, please? After Mr. Kennedy and Lady Anita from Biosaf. Oops, I mistakenly unmute yourself, please. You're still muted.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Good evening.
Good evening.
For me, it is amazing. Very, very interesting topic you treated this evening. This is still, let me say, we'll be hearing the positive in your thoughts and all the rest. But today, you really broke it down in a way that, it's like the conscious and the subconscious kind of a garbage in, garbage out. Understand, whatever thing you take in, repeatedly will stick in your mind and and it will reflect in your actions and in your life. So it's a kind of a wake-up call, reminder to us to be doing these things consciously, positively, on positive things consciously, so that we'll create the future we desire.
Amazing. Thank you, Mr. Kennedy, for the fantastic sharing. I think from River State. Okay, let's go to Bielsa. Let's listen to Lady Anita. Anita, are you there?
Okay, I just unmuted myself now. Good evening. Good evening to everyone, champion in the house. Good evening to my coach and mentor. I'm so happy to be here this evening, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to share. Talking about the subconscious mind, it's quite mind-blowing. I would like to start by sharing an experience I had today. I woke up this morning with a thought, very strong, and before the end of the day, someone called me to still confirm on that same thing I was thinking exactly. And just this evening at about 5, what was on my mind just came to pass, and it wasn't something positive at all. It's something that I've been, harboring, and each time the thought comes, I'm always scared and all that. And it just happened. I was like, wow, why is it that I know I couldn't just fight this thought, because I know that if I have control over it. So that's the power of the subconscious mind. The word of God made us to understand that whatever a man thinks, you become. As a man thinketh in his heart, so he is. So what you think, like you said, that the subconscious does not take permission from us. No. As you start in those things, unconsciously, you just see that they just begin to happen. You attract them. So I want to say thank you, because I have to make conscious effort to make sure that, I don't harbor any negativity around me. And as that keeps happening, I begin to create the world that I want. Thank you so much, and I give back the floor to you. God bless you.
I'm happy that at least 2 persons understood. From your summaries, I can tell that you understood what I thought. So that's a consolation. Okay, Lady Ene from Abuja, I think. Can you unmute yourself? Yes, please. Let's go. 1 minute.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. My name is Ene. I'm from Abuja, and one of this talk is very real to me and very true. Talking about the subconscious and the conscious mind. What I think about is the computer. The computer has a CPU, and that CPU is the brain box of the computer. If the CPU crashes, everything, all that you stored up, just disappears in one swift moment. So just like our brain, you program the computer, you know what you store inside, you know everything that is in the CPU itself. But when you program the computer to, once it crashes and everything now goes flat and blank, you cannot get it back again. So that's how the mind is. What you store in your mind is very important. The positive things you talk about, the affirmation, all come from the mind, from what you are storing in every day, what you are watching, what you are listening to. You say, as a man thinks, so he is. So I've gotten so much from this teaching. Just like the video says, you have to have a purpose. There has to be positive affirmations every day coming from me. Consciously and unconsciously, everywhere I'm going now, I'm speaking words of life, you understand, to myself, because it's very important what you say and what comes out of your mouth. So this is what I've learned. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Fantastic. Oh God, I'm so happy. At least 3 persons that understood. I didn't waste my time tonight. Okay, let's go to, where is Lady Mojisola? Is it Lagos, I think, or is it Open State? Let's give the floor to Lady Mojisola.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you. Thank you for this spot. I was thoroughly educated by this video tonight. And even before the video, the way you explained it, I was taking notes of everything so I can read and read over again. Basically, what everybody that has spoken has said is that our mind is just a product of our thoughts. And the reason is just that because the mind just mops up everything that we are thinking and our subconscious. So whatever you are thinking in your subconscious usually would affirm in your conscious life. And I think that this is why you begin to wonder why some people are always high flyers and others are not. It's the power of the thinking capacity, it's the power of the subconscious. And I connect this with the idea of affirmations. When you continue to affirm to yourself the same thing over and over again, it becomes your reality. It becomes the reality. And I've experienced this even in my learning of international language recently that I gave testimony here. I continue to repeat the sentences to myself. I continue to repeat the words, and I will be somewhere else. I will just be hearing what I was repeating to myself. I will just be hearing the sentences. And even sometimes when I have memory loss, they come back because I'm continuously imbibing what I'm learning. So the mind, they always say, is a very powerful tool for the projection of your personality, the projection of your goal, the projection of where you want to go and how far you want to go. And this is why it's important to continuously and consistently feed our mind with positivity and continue to look into those positive things so that they will become part of who we are and continue to guide us in everything we do. This part of the subconscious is really powerful for me. I'm going to go over, and I love this idea of burning the boat. Burning the boat. Give yourself and make yourself feel that you don't have any other option. This is all you have. And when you tell yourself that I don't have any other option, you will put everything that you have into that challenge. You will put everything you have into that problem. You will put your mind on it, work everything you need to do to make it happen because you have nothing else. I think burning the boat is a very powerful way of actually actualizing this idea of the subconscious. You want something badly enough, you know that is what is meant for you, you go for it. How do you go for it? Just imagine if there's nothing else, what would I do? So I think it's really very, very powerful. And we should go over this over and over again. It is something that I want to live with every single day. It's a powerful push for greatness. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ma. I don't know, each time I listen to you, I'm always so inspired. And you know, my eyes are always looking at the attitude of everyone. And I think you have an amazing learning attitude. And when I think about who you are, I'm not saying this to flatter you. She's always writing. This is a senior lecturer in a university, like University of Lagos. She's coming here, listening to her son literally speaking. And every time she comes here, you can see her writing and writing. She doesn't want to miss a single thing. She with so much passion. I love to associate people like you because you push me to be very humble. Your humility is incredible. Thank you so much, ma'am. We're happy to have you.
Thank you for the inspiration.
Yes, ma'am.
Always.
Yes, so we're going to listen to, let's listen to Lady Easy. Lady Easy, you have the floor.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Lady Easy.
Good evening, wonderful
Good
colleagues,
evening.
every invitee here. My name is Izzy. I just wanted to point as an when Coach Casey was talking, I started remembering some things that I had done subconsciously without realizing that I was using my subconscious mind. I got to this organization and I was given a responsibility that didn't look so serious, but I was doing it diligently. And every time they came for those meetings, because a particular group of people usually gather for that particular meeting in that conference room. And so each time they gather, I was like, wow, I'm only privileged to be in this room when this particular set of people gather. And I kept on saying, I want to work with the head, that's the most senior of the people who gather amongst the senior officers there. As I kept saying it, so each time I go to drop the microphone, because I always go there to organize the conference room for their meetings. And so when I have to, after dropping it, I will still have to hang around just in case they might need my attention. So I kept speaking that word. And I said, whoever is going to come, because the former one left, I said, whoever is going to come, I will have to work with. I was just saying it. Sometimes when I go and arrange, I'll go there close to the chair, wow, I'm going to work with this person. Just like that. When the person eventually came in, we were given a brief, and she just pointed and said, I like that lady there. I want to work with her. Just like that. And I just saw myself. And my kids were like, Mom, isn't that the thing you were just saying casually? And you're actually working with her. So I could resonate with what he was saying. It's just a matter of your mind. And then when you look at what happens to us, is that we don't tend to our garden, which is our conscious mind, we are the gardener, right? Yes. We don't tend to that our subconscious mind. We allow a lot of weeds, and that's the problem we have. Just as we are about chasing what we are looking for, we find a lot of distractions. And the problem is that it is not God not giving us what we want. It's the distractions we meet on the way. As we get on the way, somebody calls you and says, hey, don't come and see this, you stop. You spend like 5 years with that distraction. Before you now realize that it was a distraction, you move again, you continue your journey. So that's what keeps our journey very long, to where our purpose. If we can understand how to deal with these distractions, if we can understand how to remove these weeds, make sure that they don't, because the point is that sometimes we don't even have a clear purpose. The difficulty is that we are not even able to get our goal very clear. We end up mixing up things. Sometimes you see, we want to be in BGY today. We are all saying BGY. Before you know it, most of us have attached so many things that will be a total distraction to us. And we end up not bringing out that result that we are looking for. Because one thing about life is that once you set yourself for a goal, be ready for distractions. So you have to set your subconscious mind to believe that these distractions are going to come and prepare to kick them off. So I think that's the contribution I want to make. Thank you.
Oh God, I think I can sleep peacefully today knowing that I have very intelligent students. Oh wow, you guys are so intelligent. Like, you are the smartest group of students I've ever had to teach. And I'm not saying this to make you feel good. You're all so smart. As in the history, I've taught this topic for over 7 years. In my history of teaching it, I've taught it to physical class of over 3,000 persons. This is the first time I'm getting such intelligent responses. I feel so happy. I feel like I can even give a certificate right now to go and teach this topic to other people, and I'll be very highest assured that you have done a very good job. Okay, before I give the floor to Mr. Paul, ladies and gentlemen, just to conclude, as far as I'm concerned, one of the best ways that I know that you can, reprogram your subconscious mind is by doing the BGY program. It's a program that has been tailor-made to help you reprogram your subconscious mind. Are we together? It is when I look at all of this that we put this program together. When you wake up in the morning, look at it, the first 1 hour, the first 2 hours, what are we doing? You are reprogramming your subconscious mind through your daily affirmations, your prayers, your meditation, your goal setting, your journaling. You are reading every day, which means that every single day you're bringing in new information. How do you reprogram? You're reprogramming, you're creating your future by giving yourself new information, creating the future that you want. Every single aspect of that miracle morning is what you need to reprogram your subconscious mind. And that's what the author also mentioned when we read. We don't have the details to go into the BGY program. For those of you that are here connected on YouTube, on Zoom, you're here for the first time, meet those that are invited. You let them tell you how to become a part of this community that is going to help you transform. These trainings you are seeing here, as amazing as they are, they represent just 1% of what we do. When you come in here as a BGY member, you're given a special forum with at least 2 or 3 accountability coaches that begin to guide you every single day. They begin to reprogram your subconscious mind, begin to let go of everything that used to limit you. Are we together? All your limiting beliefs, limiting mindsets, limiting habits, and you begin to adopt new habits, you begin to adopt new mindset, new belief systems, and you begin to enter into a community of amazing people like this that are going to make sure that there is no weed that is ever going to be found in your garden. And one of those people that have gone through this program for the last 1 month is Mr. Paul Fache here in Abuja, who has just completed his first cycle of the BGY program. And you know, when I received the report just before the meeting, I told the admin that I would like him to share here. Ladies and gentlemen, let us listen to Mr. Paul as he shares with us how his experience has been in the last 30 days doing the BGY program, reprogramming his subconscious mind through the BGY program. Let us put our hands together as we receive Mr. Paul Fache from Abuja. Mr. Paul, you have the floor.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, good evening, my coach, Coach Casey. Good evening, everyone. My name is Paul Fache from Abuja. This BGY program has been a miracle for me personally because I completed 30 days yesterday for the BGY Academy. Before I came into BGY, I rated myself. As I died yesterday, I rated myself. I rated it to 30 years back. Now, what I got or what I have gained in the last 30 days is a summary of what I have lost in the last 30 years. I look at BGY as a miracle program for me personally. And since I entered BGY, there are lots that have passed out of my life. It's a kind of taking drug. You know, you have a problem and you are taking drug and you are seeing that the drug is working. And at the end of the day, the doctor asks you to go home. And within yourself, you know that, man, I'm okay, I'm fine. I can go home now. I am better than who I was before. That is BGY for me, because within the BGY, I have learned a lot of behavior. I have learned a lot of habits that can help me for my life, especially the miracle morning, the 4 dose for the miracle morning, the prayer, you know, the visualization, the exercise and the reading and all that. That has become part of me because it was not there before. Before I joined BGY, it was not there. But since I joined BGY 30 days ago, I've been able, you don't need to wake me up. I mean, alarm does not need to wake me up again. Already is in my subconscious mind that by 5:30 a.m. I'm out. Sometimes I wake before then because I know I have something to do in the morning. So I have to just wake up. And another thing that keep pressing me is before I sleep, I know I have a report. So no matter how tired, no matter how tight my schedule is, I must do that. I must earmark a time for it. Honestly, I am a changed person and I have gained a lot. And I'm still growing. I'm getting better. I am better than who I was yesterday. I am better than who I was yesterday. And that's why I sum it up. I said the 30 days is like a summary of 30 years of my life, that I have gained back what I lost in the last 30 years. And my thanks go to God and go to my coach, Coach Casey, because this is just divine for me. Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Paul. Wonderful testimony that he has shared. 30 days for 30 years. So just imagine when he's going to be 3 months in this program, when he's going to be 1 year in this program. You can imagine. Okay, so it's amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an amazing program, both for adults and for children. If you love your kids and you want to transform their lives, bring them into BGY. BGY children, in a space of 2 weeks, it's impossible not to see a remarkable change. The reports I've gotten so far are incredible. Teachers asking, what is going on with this child? This child that is used to be so stubborn, what's going on? The child is now everywhere in school looking for acts of love, because the child has to report every day 3 acts of love. So the child is in school showing love, doing this, doing that. He's at home helping out in the kitchen, doing this, because they have to report that they did house chores. As a BGY child, you must have a house chore. It doesn't matter what kind of rich family you're into, you must have a house chore that you do every single day. And so parents are now saying that, my daughter comes every day, says that they want to do this. Mommy, what will I report today? Allow me to do this house chore. Allow me to do that. And I'm like, they say Coach Casey is one place in Abuja, does not know what he's. He's not Coach Casey. This has nothing to do with me. So ladies and gentlemen, it's an amazing program that we have here, an amazing community that we are all very proud of, and we are all going to take to the ends of the earth. So thank you all so much for connecting tonight. Our time is fast spent. I want to thank you so much. Every time you listen to me, I'm always grateful, because so many persons have good information to give, but nobody to listen to them. So I don't take this for granted. A bird will never run to fly until the day it leaves its nest to reach for the sky. Yes, you've gotten information today. It's time for you to leave that next, or that weed that is in your garden, and begin to weed them out. Weed out those negative thoughts, weed out those negative friends, weed out those negative emotions, weed out those negative past experiences you're holding on to. It's time for you to create the future you want, knowing that even if it's a hurt from someone that you lost in the past is in the past. The more you continue to hold on to it, the more it's going to bring more hurt to you. It's going to bring more feelings, emotions, and realities of emotions of someone dead in your life. So it's time for you to let go of everything negative that happened in your past, whether it is the loss of a loved one. I keep mentioning that because that one, we normally, we feel like we have the right to mourn. Do you understand what I'm saying? We will feel like we have the right to feel bad. But the point is that the subconscious mind does not know whether you have the right or not. As long as you're feeling bad, it's going to bring more bad things to you. So it's time to let go of all those negative weight you don't need. Those weight that are weighing you down. You don't need all this burden on your small shoulder. It's time for you to really, really allow yourself to fly like God wants you to fly. Take this message today, go and rewatch over and over again. It's on YouTube, and put them into action. Most likely, even on Sunday, we will come back next because our next training is on Saturday. We'll come back, we might still come back to this, but in a different way, so that we can really, really understand what we're talking about. I love you all. Have an excellent night rest, and see you at the top. Merci. Thank you. See you guys on Saturday.
Thank you. Good night.